creative writing and founder of One Book, One Community. I now host Right on Four Corners every Wednesday, 10:30 to 11, when I'll talk to local and regional authors. So please join me Wednesdays here on 90.9 FM KSJE Farmington.
The first ever Four Corners Film Festival will be September 10th through the 15th. You'll get to enjoy special Q&A sessions with celebrity guests, including Vivica A. Fox, Noel G., Quentin Aaron from The Blind Side, Eric Martinez, Farmington's own Poppin' John, and more. Talk with filmmakers, fashion designers, music producers, and learn about what's going on in the New Mexico film industry, with other panels and workshops available. Join us for unique parties and networking events. Tickets start at $25 online at filmfourcorners.com.
KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, which is officially baby-friendly. This evidence-based initiative is designed to support mother-baby bonding and optimal infant feeding practices by upholding the 10 steps to successful breastfeeding. San Juan Regional Medical Center, officially baby-friendly, and serving the Four Corners since 1910. Find out more online at sanjuanregional.com. This program on KSJE is supported by Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation, providing a competent, innovative, and caring team of professionals to serve wealth management, trust administration, employee benefit plans, retirement planning, and estate settlement needs. Find out more about Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation at 505-599-0181. Ten minutes past 8 o'clock. It's Wednesday morning, August 21st. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Micklin, and thank you for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM here in San Juan County, now 103.3 FM in the Durango area. And welcome aboard to our viewers who are watching our visual radio program this morning live on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. We are glad you're with us as well this morning. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Outside our studios here at San Juan College already, it is 71 degrees in Farmington. We are expecting mostly sunny morning, maybe some increasing clouds this afternoon with a chance of a shower or thunderstorm popping up. Today's high 95 in Farmington today, 62 overnight, then more sunshine and less chances for rain the rest of the next 9 days. 94 for high tomorrow, 92 on Friday, 93 on Saturday, 96 on Sunday. And as you can see, overnight lows in the mid to upper 50s. Real nice for sleeping. Coming up in just a few moments, my guest, Randy West, is here, the new director of the Farmington Civic Center. He's got a lot of great plans for this season at the Farmington Civic Center. Lots of great events coming up and entertainment coming up, from musicians to entertainers and more. We'll be talking with him coming up in the next few moments here on KSJE. And one of the entertainers who is here is actually in studio too. That's Todd Oliver. He'll be joining us as well. And this is a first, a talking dog in the studio. We've never had that before. It's a first this morning. So stick around. We're going to get to that interview in just a moment here on KSJE. Later on, Dr. Mike Hadabal will be joining us at 8:50 a.m. this morning from the Encouragement Lab. Some great advice for relationships and communication that will round out the hour this morning on KSJE. Next hour, Mick Hess will take over. He will take us roving with the arts. He is playing music from Gustav Mahler on the show this morning. And then later on at 10:30, it's Right on Four Corners with Tracy Hales-Vass. And Tracy is talking to author Chuck Greaves about his book. And his book is called Church of the Graveyard Saints. So you'll hear that interview this morning at 10:30 right here on KSJE. So stick around for that. Of course, connect with us on social media. That means you won't miss a thing. You can like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and check out KSJE on Instagram as well. Well, let me turn to my guests who are here with me this morning. And as I mentioned, it's a first. We have a talking dog in the studio who we'll meet in just a few moments. But first of all, Randy West is here, the new director of the Farmington Civic Center. And Randy, it's great to have you here. Good morning.
Great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming in. And also joining us here in studio is Todd Oliver. And Todd, good morning to you.
Well, good morning, Farmington. Great to be in this cool, nice community.
Nice to have you here as well. So thank you for coming in. And, Of course, we will meet
My
Irving
dog,
in just a few minutes. So he's standing by, right?
Or laying by or something.
Yeah, but he's not talking at the moment.
He's snoring.
Yeah, that's okay. But that's okay. We like that. So perfect. Very good. But Randy, let me start with you, if you don't mind, about your welcome to the community, first of all, and some of your great plans for the Farmington Civic Center. And tell us a little bit about that, because you've got, I don't know how many acts you've got lined up for the season, but
we've got a bunch.
Yeah, you do.
And it's a combination of touring, wonderful touring performances that are coming into the Civic Center, of which Todd is a member of our touring season this year.
Right.
But we go way back, and as soon as I found out that I was going to start bringing people to Farmington, Todd was one of the first people that I called and said, Todd, you have to come help me get this thing going in Farmington. So that was one of my first choices, and I'm delighted that worked out. But we're basically doing a combination of touring shows, and along with that, the people, when I got here, they all wanted Broadway.
Right.
And they renovated the Civic Center again for the third time, and once again, we still don't have a fly system. So most Broadway shows have to be able to back a truck up and load into a fly system, which flies set pieces in and out, and that's the way they can load in 2 or 3 hours and then do a full Broadway show. And our theater is a wonderful theater. It's a terrific piece of technology to come in and perform in, but we don't have a fly system. And so I was having problems getting Broadway touring shows to come here. So what we ended up with in this season is a combination of touring shows, and we are forming a brand new professional musical theater company called Four Corners Musical Theater. And we're doing 3 musicals, one in September, one in February, one in April, and then we're also doing 3 summer musicals. So that's the season for the professional musical theater company, and then the other things are all touring in. So in that, we're calling them series because it's just a way of separating them out. We have a music and comedy series, and that involves the 3 redneck tenors, who've played here before very successfully, and they're a very fun musical theater music act of 3 really gifted tenors. Right. We're also bringing in November, we're bringing in Ronnie Cox, and Ronnie is from New Mexico. And he is going to, on Friday night, he's going to show a film that he's in, and he's going to talk about what it's like to shoot on location, because Farmington, as you know, is hoping to grow into a film location.
That's right.
And we're spending a lot of time and effort, including coming up in September, our first film festival.
That's right.
So because there is so much interest in film production and in Farmington, I invited Ronnie to come in and show a film and talk about what it's like to do a film on location. And then he's also a nationally and internationally known performer, and he's bringing his whole band to the Farmington Civic Center on November 9th. What's interesting is on November 2nd, he's being brought into the New Mexico Musicians Hall of Fame.
Nice.
So he's being inducted as a New Mexican Hall of Fame musician, and the very next week, his whole band is playing here in Farmington.
Terrific.
We also have the Blue Note Records in November, which is a group of musicians out of Chicago that celebrate a certain style of kind of jazz with a kind of a rhythm and blues base to it.
Right.
We also have Impact, which is M-Pact, which is a group of 6 singers coming in December. They sing tight a cappella. They're doing a combination of Christmas music as well as contemporary music. Also in that series, we have the Pink Floyd Laser Extravaganza that's been around for a lot of years. We also have One Night in Memphis, which celebrates the night at Sun Records, where Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, and Jerry Lee Lewis were all together for one night, and it celebrates that music in a night. We also have, in the comedy section, we have Colin Mockery, who, if you ever watch Whose Line Is It Anyway?
That's right.
Colin is a hysterically funny improv comedian, and he's coming in with a hypnotist, and he's doing hypnoprov while in town.
Okay.
And then we're also in March, we're doing the Celtic Angels, which is 5 women that sing in very tight Celtic Celtic harmony. They also have 5 male dancers, including Michael Flaherty, who's still dancing, and a 4-piece Celtic band. I don't know why they couldn't get that 5th person and go 5, 5, and 5, but it isn't. And then in April, we have the Doo-Rah Riders, who've been around forever, high-energy country band. And then in May, we are bringing in the Drifters, which is a pretty famous act that's been around for many years. So that, for example, is the music and comedy series.
That's just the music and comedy series. I just want everyone to know there's more besides what you just mentioned.
Right. Now, if you buy 2 of those, you get the 3rd one free. If you buy 5 of those, you get 2 free. So there's a way to do packages in these series that save you money.
Okay.
But Todd is part of the Kids and Family series, which is Todd and Irving, which is, we're very lucky to be able to bring the world's only, that I'm aware of, talking dog to Farmington.
That's
We
right.
also have Spooktacular, which is a Halloween-based kind of Circus Soleil show. In December, we have A Christmas Carol, a really fine company. That's a very creative telling of Christmas Carol. Projections, the Ghost of Christmas Past is a 12-foot puppet. And so if you're bringing a young one to the theater for the first time, it's a very magical kind of telling of the Christmas Carol.
Okay.
We have our Outrageous coming in February, which is another New Mexico act. And they actually, it's kind of like performance art that creates art. And in front of you, in a choreographed way, they paint, and by the end of their show, they've created 5 huge portrait paintings right in front of you during the show.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
And
Nice.
then we have Mallory Lewis coming in March. Mallory is Sherry Lewis's daughter, and she's bringing lamb chop to Farmington, for those of you that remember lamb chop.
Of a certain age, I must say,
Yes.
probably, but how great, right?
Yeah.
Because she has really carried on
Absolutely.
that
It's still
tradition, hasn't she?
Todd and I were just talking that if you see Mallory do lamb chop, you believe that's lamb chop. So,
Yes.
it really covers her mom. And then Munch and Shouse, which is a Broadway show that it's 8 actors all dressed in black, and it's set to music. It's not really mime. They use puppets and pieces of things to create visual poetry, and it's a very creative entrance into theater. So that's the Kids and Family series.
Okay, and for folks who are watching our program, we encourage you to do that. We're showing some of the whole series, actually. If you go to the city's website, you can see everything that we're talking about this morning, and buy tickets, as a matter of fact, too. But you've got it kind of divided up into these different series, right? So folks can kind of pick and choose what they want to come see or what their interests are.
Right. The Professional Musical Theater Company, which is Four Corners Musical Theater, we're starting that in September, and we're doing a very funny musical called The Musical of Musicals, The Musical.
Yes.
Which is it's 5 mini musicals in the style of Rodgers and Hammerstein, Kander and Ebb, Stephen Sondheim, Jerry Herman, and Andrew Lloyd Webber. And if you know musical theater, it's crazy funny. And if you know nothing about musical theater, it's still very funny.
Right.
And it's so that's the first musical in September. In February, we're doing a brand new musical that's just come out called Disaster by Seth Rudetsky. It takes all the 70s disaster movies themes and puts them all into one evening.
This was the era of the Towering Inferno
That's right.
and the Poseidon Adventure, I think. I'm dating myself.
You're absolutely right.
But some of these things that you're talking about, correct? And
Right.
these disaster genre
For example,
films.
the joke is it's a casino ship that's always docked at a dock, and there's an earthquake, so it turns upside down.
Of course. Right.
And then it's attacked by sharks and piranhas, and they do 38 different 70s pop tunes.
Okay.
And
wow.
Then in April, we're doing a brand new version of Camelot that's just coming out by David Lee, who's a very famous television writer, won 3 Emmys for writing Frasier and won 3 Emmys for directing Frasier. But his first love has always been musical theater. And he's taken Camelot, which is usually a musical with about 45, 50 people, and runs about 3 hours and 40 minutes, and he's cut it down to 10 people, and it runs 2 hours and 15 minutes. So it's a very creative new telling of Camelot, done in story theater, where all the actors narrate their own story and then jump into being characters. And that's a brand new piece that's just coming out. So all 3 of the first shows we're doing in this first season are being done in New Mexico for the first time by our company.
Wow. And so this company then that you have formed,
Yes.
right? You are pulling in actors
Yes.
from the community.
It's both.
Both
It's
and
a
traveling.
professional company, so we're bringing in people from throughout the United States,
Okay.
and then we're also adding to those local hires and regional hires. And if you know the college, everybody knows Delbert, and who runs the Jazz Society
Delbert
here.
Anderson, of course.
Yes.
That's right. Yes.
He came to me one day and said, where are you getting your musicians for your musicals? And I said, well, I think I'm going to do tracks just because there's so much to do to just get a season pulled together. And he said, well, there are professional musicians in Farmington that could play your show that don't get to work much. And I said, well, pitch me. And he did, and we had a full conversation. He is now the orchestra contractor for our company, and he is helping me hire local professional musicians that we are hiring to play all 6 shows. So all 6 shows will have local live musicians.
How terrific.
Yeah, isn't
And
that
what a
wonderful?
great investment
Yeah.
in the musician
Another
community.
way, besides hiring talent, and certainly we're hiring locally, we're hiring designers and technicians. So it is truly a combination of taking nationally known professionals and mixing them with both regional and local talent to create our own brand of musical theater in Farmington.
Terrific. Well, we're looking forward to it,
Thank
Randy.
you.
All I can say is that there's so many things. I don't know if I'll have time to get to everything, but
Well, I
I'm really
expect to see you there, Scott.
I'm hoping I can get to everything, and I don't know if there's a season pass, but
Absolutely, there's series passes for all of these.
Okay.
So if you buy all of them, it's a huge savings. But if you buy in groups of 2, you get a third one. If you buy 4, you get 2 free. When you go on or call us or go on the website, it's all explained how you can get substantial savings by buying multiple options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and again, the website is just go to the city's website, fmtn.org/civic center, and
Right.
that's how you find everything that we're talking about.
Right, or you can call us at 505-599-1148.
Okay. Perfect. Very good. Randy West is my guest this morning. He is the new director of the Farmington Civic Center, but also here in the studio is Todd Oliver. And again, Todd, I want to bring you into the conversation here because you're on stage tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Right? Yes,
bet,
as part of the kickoff to this whole new season, really, at the Civic Center with this comedy series and things like that. So talk to me a little bit about you, and then we'll meet Irving in a few minutes,
Well,
hopefully, too.
Sure. Well, my show is called The Funniest Night of Your Life, and I'm a ventriloquist comedian. And a few years ago, well, more than a few years ago, I was looking at my dog one day, and I thought, boy, I bet you would have a lot to say if you could talk. Imagine if your dog
We all
could
look at our
talk.
dogs that way and probably say
we
that.
all
You're
do.
right.
Yeah, if
I
that
believe
dog
you're
could
right.
talk.
I'm kind of glad they don't in some
Well, yeah.
cases.
Although I'm sure many are, but so I invented this illusion of a talking dog, and it was a hit right from the first night he went on stage.
I would think so.
I was appearing on a showboat in Nashville, Tennessee, and I broke the dog in on that right at the end of my run there after 7 years, and then then we did some television and a couple of Tonight Shows and David Letterman, and then when in 2012 I was in a kind of a weird deal. I was in Branson, Missouri, and a tornado hit the theater I was in. I had been on a showboat
Right.
in Branson for
Right.
13 years after the 7 years in Nashville, and the showboat Branson Bell, and it was just great. But my daughter was starting school, and I thought, well, maybe we should do a theater job. So we did. We went to a theater, and the night before we were going to open, a tornado tore the roof off the building and destroyed all the equipment. And I was out of work, and first time in my life, I didn't know what to do. America's Got Talent called, and I thought, well, I've already done a couple Tonight Shows and Letterman and a couple Today Shows, and we even did some episodes of Walker, Texas Ranger,
Wow.
Right.
Right.
And lots of other comedy specials
Sure.
and stuff. So I thought, well, I probably shouldn't do America's Got Talent. I mean, I'm an established act. Well, my manager said, Todd, you don't understand. America's Got Talent, they use professionals and amateurs. I thought, well, how do you do that? How do you combine the two on the same show? Well, they figured out how to do it, and they
Right.
made a fortune doing so. So but the good thing was I didn't have to go stand in line. They said, well, we're going to just start you at the theater there in St. Louis, the Fox Theater. We went down there, did our first night.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And, of course, it was great, you know.
Right.
And then we ended up being a top 4 finalist that year. And then the Branson thing ended, and I just started touring again. I hadn't toured in many, many, many years, and I'm loving it. Scott, there's something in I think a lot of entertainers will agree. The term I say respectful anticipation. You know, when people go out to see entertainment or some a special event, I think in this day and age, we are bombarded by entertainment on our phones and television and everything.
Visual radio.
Visual radio.
See?
There we go.
Right.
But respectful anticipation I think is very important, and I believe playing touring theaters is that you get the greatest respectful anticipation. Whether you're a ventriloquist like me, or a singer, a dancer, or actor, whatever you do in the arts. So I feel so blessed to be on the road, and I'm loving it. And I don't travel alone. I bring my dog, and I've got some other animals in the show, a bunny and some birds.
A whole menagerie, it sounds
well,
like, I guess, right?
I started out as a ventriloquist magician,
Right, okay.
years ago, and the magic I put aside the magic a number of years ago, but I brought it back now because it's just I can give the audience more in 90 minutes than I think than they expect, and I think they're very surprised. And whether you're, the goal of our show is families laughing together. I think my favorite sound in the world are children and their parents laughing at the same time. I mean,
Right, because sometimes they laugh at different things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And there's different comedy for different
Sure.
people, and there's a lot. There's a lot of blue comedy out there that's very successful. People like that stuff, and that I just never worked that way. When I was
Sure.
when I was growing up in show business, you really couldn't work blue in the Midwest,
Right.
and make
if
a
you
living.
wanted to, yeah, right. If you wanted to eat.
Yes. I mean, then the comedy clubs came along,
And I think you kind of had to make that choice, didn't you, early in your career, if you were going to go, what path you were going to go on, if you were going to do, right? You can't do both successfully.
Yes, correct. That's a very good point, Scott. I started in the lounges back in the 70s.
Okay.
In the show, well, it was like dinner theater.
Sure.
But they were called, what were they called? They were supper club circuit. That was
Right.
the supper club
Right.
circuit.
Mm-hmm.
And but my heroes were comedians that I guess you'd call them old timers today, but I love those old timers that came out in a double-breasted suit and a cigar, and they were just funny, and they didn't use anything off-color, bad language or bad words, and they were just characters. They were so funny. A lot of those people, I loved Edgar Bergen, of course, great ventriloquist, and
Of course.
but I loved Alan King. Alan King was one of my heroes,
Right.
and Shelley Berman, and
All these names that we're familiar with. So
yeah,
sure.
well, and there's still, Jerry Seinfeld is wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
But as a ventriloquist, I always thought the dummy, there has to be an impish charm of innocence with sarcasm that makes that little dummy so funny, and getting to your point, I had to make a decision. When the comedy clubs came along, I went and worked them, and I thought they were the easiest place in the world to get a laugh. My gosh, people paying money to come and laugh.
Right.
What a
Right.
And I had a lot of people in Los Angeles say, well, if the dog would say this, or if the dog or the dummy would say, Todd, you'll just, meaning something, blue or really weird or dark or something. and I just couldn't do that. I just never worked off color. It was never my style. It was never my bag.
Sure.
And I've got a
So your
I've
show,
got a 14-year-old daughter, and I don't talk that way around the house. So
right?
I mean,
that's important. That's true.
But
so your show
I'm not-
tomorrow is certainly family friendly.
It's family friendly, yeah.
and folks can come. And
It's family friendly.
So do you think Irving has something to say to
well,
us this morning?
I brought the dog.
All right. Well, let's see how we can do this here, everybody. They're gonna go get Irving, the talking dog, ready to talk on our visual radio program this morning, and so he's getting ready, and we'll see what he has to say this morning. It's kind of early for dogs, so I don't know. I don't know what he'll have to say, but you never know, right? So let's see what we got
Hey there,
here.
little guy.
So
Well, how you doing?
let's see.
You want to say hello? No. Hey, yeah, okay. Come here. What are you doing, huh?
Irving,
You all right? No, I'm good.
Is he all right? Is he good? He's
You all
got
right?
something to
I'm
say to
good.
us?
Irving,
Irving.
we're on the radio. Radio, yes. Now, who's the genius that booked a ventriloquist on the radio? What do you got next week? A juggler?
That's right. We're working on it, Irving.
You
Yeah.
know why people are watching and listening? Yeah, it's free. We're promoting our show tomorrow. Good show, yes.
Irving, have you been to New Mexico before?
Yeah, I love it. It's so hot right now, the trees are chasing me.
That's true. It is hot.
You're the first talking dog. Yeah, you're the second. Okay. Are you having a nice day? Yeah. Oh, that's good. Isn't it nicer? Yeah. What do you do? Well, I'm a ventriloquist. I'm a ventriloquist. What do you do? Well, what do I do? I throw my voice. Go ahead and do it. Well, Irving, I just did. What? Right there. It went right there. What'd you do?
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's a ventriloquist. No. Yes. Now, come on. Okay. All right. But we're gonna tomorrow
Okay.
night show. It was,
Right.
You're the star of the show. That's good. Yes. Yeah. And you know me? Yeah. That's You're the dud. No.
And I've never interviewed a talking dog before, so this is the first for me, Irving.
Well,
so I
my
appreciate it.
goodness, Scott, you're looking younger every day.
I appreciate that. I'm young in dog years.
The dog years, yeah. How old am I in dog years? You're dead.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Well, Irving, thank you for coming in on the show.
Good to be here. Come out and see us tomorrow night.
Okay.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
We appreciate it very much. That's great. That's Irving, the talking dog. He is here with Todd Oliver, who is the brains behind the act here, Todd. And so, have you been here to New Mexico before? Todd?
I have,
To
yeah.
ask
We
you, right?
played a few cities over here.
Have you? Okay, good.
Yeah.
But not to Farmington. This
Not
is your
Farmington.
First time,
No,
correct?
other towns. We've
Okay.
had a great time, yeah.
I'm going to adjust your shot here so we can see you. But
Sure.
so this is the first time. And so, and Randy West, you knew Todd from prior engagements, or
Yes. This is the third time that Todd and I have hung out together.
Nice.
And every time the audience goes away just amazed at what an evening he puts together. It is a combination of a talking dog and some magic, and it's it's an event. He brings you into his world, and you go away being better for it, I think.
Very nice. And again, it's tomorrow. The show's tomorrow.
7:30 tomorrow night.
Okay, and the tickets are available again online. Everybody,
They
at
absolutely
the
are.
Civic Center website, and you can check out Todd's act and the event and all the other events that we've been talking about this morning,
Absolutely.
which are numerous. And I don't even know. I was trying to keep track of as you were going through them how many events and acts you have coming in between now and May.
Well, and you know, I
It's
didn't.
a lot.
There's also an intimate Broadway series that I didn't get to mention, which is a
yeah.
combination of Churchill, which is a one-man Churchill show,
Right.
and then John Smitherman is coming in doing his Phantom show, and then Anne Ranulfson, who was Carlotta in Phantom of the Opera for 8 years on Broadway, is coming in, and she's putting together an evening called Heroine Song with her daughter, and my wife, Margaret Clare, is putting together a group of local singers who will be singing female empowerment songs
Nice.
with Anne.
Okay.
And then Liz Calloway comes in April, and Liz is doing a group voice class the night before her concert, and then she's doing a concert, and then Nick Drevis, who will be coming in for the Professional Musical Theater Company, is coming in, and he and Adam Swanson are together for an evening called The Entertainers, and then David Malice, who was a 9-year New York Met lead baritone, is coming in to do a concert, and then staying on and opening up our summer season, where we'll be doing 3 different musicals in the summer this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very exciting. And you you, of course, as head of the Civic Center, are also working with Sandstone.
Absolutely.
Speaking of summers, right? And congratulations on
Thank you.
this summer.
They did a great job
all
this
shook
summer.
up with the music of Elvis Presley, of course. And so you've got big plans for next summer at Sandstone,
we're,
too.
We're
correct?
doing both, yes. We're opening in June at the Civic Center. We're doing a full production of Sweeney Todd, and David Malice is coming in to sing the lead role in
Right.
Sweeney Todd.
Right.
And then out at Sandstone, it's a little shorter period of time. We're playing 3 weeks straight through at Sandstone. We're doing Mamma Mia, and we're bringing in Brad Little to sing Sam in that. And
Okay.
if you saw the Phantom of the Opera, the A-list, anytime it was on tour for the full 10 years, there was only one Phantom, and that was Brad. And then he did the international tour of Phantom, so he played Japan and China and all over, and he's become a huge pop star over there. He
Wow.
actually lives in Korea now. Last weekend, he and a 25-piece orchestra played Beijing in front of 10,000 people.
Holy smokes.
And
Right.
he's coming into Farmington to
Okay.
be the headliner in Mamma Mia for 3 weeks, and then we're coming back to the Civic Center, and in the end of July, beginning of August, we're doing the musical Annie. And all of those shows leading up to Annie will be involving locals and regional talent, and by the time we get to Annie, we hope to have 25 local young people playing the youth roles in Annie. So by the
Okay.
end of the summer, we hope to have the whole community involved in the professional musical theater company.
All right. So parents, if you have a budding orphan in your household, I guess you could maybe sign them up to
Absolutely.
be in the Annie production.
Absolutely.
So that's how it could work. And the local musicians, too, will be part
Absolutely.
of all this, correct?
Absolutely.
So
Just
very-
call me or let me know that you're interested, or if you know Delbert, he's the one that's actually contracting
Yep.
the musicians. Yeah.
Very good. Well, it's very exciting to hear all that you have planned.
Thank you.
And we hope that the audiences will come and
I hope so,
buy their
too.
tickets and support what you are doing, because people always say there's nothing to do
I know.
in Farmington. And from this interview, I would hope that that makes it very clear that that is not the case.
Thank you.
Especially with the season that you've got planned coming up. I mean, there is something, at least, it sounds like almost definitely every month, but almost every week of every
Multiple
month.
times
Yeah.
a month, yeah,
There's a
once
whole
we
bunch
get
of
going
stuff.
in September.
That's wonderful. So, again, thank you for coming in, Randy
Oh, yes,
West.
sir.
We appreciate it very much. We're running out of time. Todd Oliver, thank you for being here with
Very much.
Irving. And
Well, it's been great to be here. I just had a good old time today. Yeah.
thanks very much, Irving. There's a fire hydrant just outside the door.
Ventriloquist on the radio. I love it.
That's it. Exactly. So, perfect. Gentlemen, thank you so
you.
much
Thank
for
you,
coming
Scott.
in, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm Scott Micklin, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Back with more in just a moment right here. This is KSJE, and the time is 8:41. This program on KSJE is supported by Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation, providing a competent, innovative, and caring team of professionals to serve wealth management, trust administration, employee benefit plans, retirement planning, and estate settlement needs. Find out more about Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation at 505-599-00